Well guys, welcome on board Driftwood. This time we're heading out from Lough Carrow, going out onto Lough Ree, and I won't tell you where we're going yet, but it's going to be a bit of an adventure. Stay tuned. So this is the old stone harbour in Lough Carrow. There's plenty of picnic tables, there's barbecues, hook up for water, usual service block, and everything you might need. This was once an old mill and was powered by this stream here, which also, by the way, feeds into the canal. I met these two lads when I was on my way back to check the boat engines.
Audio Jungle.
We're just coming out of Lough Carrow now, folks, and today I'm on my own on the boat because Marion is in work. So I'm going to have to try and drive more and film on my own, and it's not something I'm very used to. So Marion works normally about every second weekend. I'm lucky in that I'm off every weekend. I just do 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, so I get down to the boat most weekends. Now today we're going to head to a port that most boaters don't get to see. None of the higher boats are allowed to visit this port because it's in an area that's marked as unnavigable. More about that later. Meanwhile, let's hope that the weather holds and that we don't get too much rain. I'd say it's going to be a bit showery. We're just heading out onto Lough Ree now to enjoy a nice day's run. So I've done a few checks on the engines now. Checked the oil in both engines, and the level is fine, not a bother with it. And I've checked the weed filter. There's an intake on the boat, sucks water in from the river. That goes through a heat exchanger to cool the internal water supply in the engines. But before it does that, it passes through a filter to catch any weed. So I've cleared all the weed out of that, and I've also checked the stern glands. There's 2 stern glands, one for each shaft. And on this boat they don't take grease, they take oil. So I top them up with oil, and they're all good. Gentlemen, it's very important that you check your stern gland. Have you checked your stern gland today? So, leaving stern glands aside for the moment, guys, this is Lough Carrow Harbour, and this is where we're starting out from. We're going to head down the canal, out into the lake, and there, in the middle of that shot, right at the bottom, is Quakers Island. So we'll pass just to the south of Quakers Island, and then we'll head south towards this wee little harbour here. This, folks, is Barley Harbour. Now, these are the charts of Lough Ree. I want to show you up here, this area here that's clearly marked as restricted area, and that's where Barley Harbour is. Now, there is a few obstructions as we approach the harbour, so we'll be taking it quite slowly, and I'll also be keeping a close eye on the depth sounder. But what I've done is I take a transit off the mainland, off the headland, and once I stick on that transit, reading through it, we should be okay. The only thing that I'll be worried about is that once we get into the harbour itself, it's very, very shallow, and I do not want to bump a propeller. But it'll all go well. Now, Marion has suggested to me that maybe I should explain what a transit is. A transit is when you take 2 or more points on the land, such as a church steeple and maybe a chimney. And if you line the 2 of them up so that you have one directly behind the other, that gives you a straight line to travel on. And that is pretty much what we're going to use to bring us into Barley Harbour. Come on with me. Just have to make sure the boat's going to stay in a straight line. Yeah, that's looking good. Right, here we go. Have to do this kind of quickly. That there. Right. Pedal on. Do hook the boat sign on the straight line. Very quick. Look. Right, we have a look up here. Make sure we're okay. More or less, yeah. Back around this way here. Another boat not too far away from me up there. And now we're nearly lined up. We're nearly on a straight line. Now to run in and get the gas lighting. Right, pump. How to make a cup of tea. You're on your own on a boat. Not easy. Let's start up. There we are. Kettle's on. Now we can look forward to a cup of tea. Right. And there we are. Sorted. Sit down there, and that, folks, is how you make a cup of tea when you're on your own on a boat. Don't mind any of this nonsense of putting out flasks and stuff like that. Take a chance and go in and make a cup of tea if you want it. And barley me bar chocolate. This is my lunch. Chocolate and tea. So guys, this is the beautiful harbour called Barley Harbour. I didn't get footage of us actually coming in. There was just too much happening, I think, really. But you can see there, you have lovely views out over the lake, and it's quite sheltered because it's quite surrounded by trees here. And once you're in anything other than northeasterly or easterly wind, this is a really good spot to moor up. Now, there's not an awful lot of facilities here. There is a toilet block, but there's very little else. There's no town. There's certainly no pub or cafe or restaurant or anything like that. But once you come prepared, it's a good old spot to be. But you know what? I'm sitting here at the steps here at Barley Harbour, just listening to the water and the occasional sounds of the birds, and it's just so peaceful and so relaxing. I think Barley Harbour is so isolated and it's just so peaceful and quiet. And so long as you have plenty of milk and wine or beer or whatever your tipple is, it's a lovely spot to come in and spend an evening here and light the barbecue. Now, the harbour is very shallow, and if you look on the harbour wall, you can actually see the watermark from what the winter levels are. And coming in, I was kind of worried that we'd clip the propellers off the bottom, so I took it very gently and very slowly, and that's why there's no film of it. So what I'm going to do going out is I'll untie the back of the boat. I'm hoping the wind will swing the back out, and then with the rope on the other side of the back, I'll pull the back around so the boat will actually be facing the other way, and I should be able to slip out then nice and gently. I don't want to try and reverse it out, because if I do bump anything, then the rudders go straight into whatever I bump, and that would be expensive. Keep the fingers crossed that all goes well. Now, a facial expression like that has its own name. It's called stressed out, because I'm trying to guide the boat between the harbour wall and where I know, or at least suspect, there are a number of rocks right in the centre of the harbour. And added into that, it's extremely shallow, there's a bit of a wind blowing from one side, and I have to try and keep the boat on course without using the engines too much. The idea being that at least if I do clip a rock, hopefully the propeller won't be spinning at the time. and I breathe a sigh of relief. I'm looking at the depth sounder here. Oh wow, very, very shallow. We draw just over 1 meter, I think about 1.3 meters, and the depth sounder was showing 0.8 of a meter. So I reckon the keel was dragging along in the mud, which would explain why it was so hard to pull it around that time with the rope. But now we're back into 4.5 meters of water there, and it's getting deeper, so we're okay. So we're just saying goodbye to Barley Harbour there behind us. It's a lovely big spot. There's a couple of families there. They're camping out and they have a lovely barbecue going. They want to see the sausages on it. They did offer me some, but I was too shy to accept the offer. That's not like me. Not when it comes to food, at least. It's a first. Well guys, that's where we have to finish this episode. If you liked it, and if you stayed this long, you probably did, you might click the thumbs up button for us. That helps to boost our self-esteem. If you have any comments, suggestions, maybe there's a port that you'd like us to go and visit, put in the comments down below. Okay? If you're watching this and you don't want to miss the next episode, click on this icon here. This is a subscribe button. When you click on that, it doesn't cost you anything. YouTube will send you a notification when the next video comes out, and that way you won't have to go searching on YouTube to find us. So click on that one. If you click on this square one here, YouTube will pick a video that they reckon will suit you. Thanks for watching.